What's good, y'all? Let's talk about Ahmaud Arbery. This story is an old one, so let me give y'all a quick recap. This is about innocent black man who was chased down and murdered by two white men in a pickup truck, in a white pickup truck by shotguns. Typical stereotypes still happening in 2020. Apparently, the two white men saw Ahmaud Arbery running out of the empty house construction site. They thought he was burglarizing the place, so they went, they got their shotguns, they chased him down, and they murdered him. At the time when this all happened, a lot of people were defending these two white men in a lot of different ways. One, they were saying it was self-defense. Now, we're going to watch the video, and I'm going to show you where they said it was self-defense. There was no self-defense in it. They chased him down. They stood in the middle of the street, blocked him off with the shotgun, and he tried to evade them, and they shot him. They ended up fighting over the gun, and they shot him. Let me just run the clip. See, he's running. Somebody's following him as he's running. This is the part where they say that it's self-defense. They're struggling with the gun, therefore he had the right to defend himself. See, here's the part. He's running towards them. They were saying he should have ran away to the other side and he could have got away. But instead he ran towards them as a threat. So he was the threat. And they were like, hey, as long as more evidence doesn't come out, there's no way that they could tell who was in the wrong. And you know what? More evidence came out. And more evidence just came out today. But more evidence came out before that, where apparently one of the guys was posting racist posts on Facebook. But of course, that has nothing to do with this case. So that was dismissed right away from all these Second Amendment activists on the internet. But then more evidence came out against Ahmaud Arbery arguing a police officer, and how was that relevant? They all decided to make that a relevant case to this. Oh yeah, look at him. He's arguing with the police. He obviously has some problems. I don't know. He might be on drugs. I don't know. He may have been on drugs on that day. It's just ignorant. Has nothing to do with this case. The racist post has something to do with this case because it was obviously a racist motive. But whether it was or not, that's just my 2 cents. More information came out, and I'm just waiting to see if they retract any of their statements. Let me play the newly released information for y'all.
Graphic body camera video from Glynn County Police arriving to the scene after Ahmaud Arbery was killed. Greg McMichael, one of the men charged.
They blurring it out. That's the body on the scene that they blurring out.
I run in the house. I said, Travis, the same guy that broke in the house down there. Who's Travis? My son. Got shot. Okay. I said, come on, let's go.
McMichael says he grabbed his gun. Travis McMichael grabbed his shotgun, chasing Arbery for several minutes when their neighbor, William Roddy Bryan, joins.
You heard that? They ran in the house, grabbed the shotgun, and ran out the house to chase him. He wasn't just standing in the middle of the street, but we already knew this. We knew that they chased him down. We may not have known that he went in the house to grab the gun and then came back out. And then, according to these dumb Second Amendment right activists, a lot of them on the internet, they were just happened to see it. They're riding along and they just stopped him. Because, at that point it's still wrong. But now, they had the intent to go get their shotgun and use their shotgun.
Brian, who recorded the shooting when it happens, has publicly maintained he was just a witness, but that day he told police he got involved in the chase.
I hollered at them. I said, y'all got him? They got down to the end down there somewhere. I must have passed him because I pulled out in my driveway. Was going to try to block him.
A third person in this whole thing. So it wasn't 2 white men. It was 3 white men. Before, the guy with the camera was just saying he was just the guy with the camera. And now he's saying he tried to block him. He went out, chased him down, was coordinating this effort. Y'all got him. Like, do y'all hear that? Y'all got him. These are some murderers. They knew exactly what they intended to do. And then they did it.
Brian questioned if they should have chased him in the first place. A new clip of the video Brian shot, also released today, shows Brian trying to stop Arbery before the deadly confrontation.
And if you just saw that, remember what I said earlier? They said he should have ran around and instead he should have ran into the woods or ran in the other direction instead of running towards the guy with the gun. As you can see from this clip, and as they're explaining in this clip, he ran away several times. He was just running in one direction. He saw another one. He ran in the other direction. And he says he tried to stop him like 2 or 3 times. They're all stayed trying to stop him and he's running away. He's running for his life. At one point, he decides he can't run anymore because they're too close. And that's when he runs at him, and that's where he fights and struggles to get the gun. He's allowed to do that. He's running from his life, running for his life. It is ridiculous.
Stop him to talk to him. He took off. He stopped. He come out of the truck running at us. I told him stop till he hit me. I had nothing to do. There's nothing else I can do.
He had nothing to do. He has a shotgun. And he had nothing to do. And here's the thing. A lot of people, they believe that when you have a weapon, your threshold for self-defense lowers. I would think that if the threshold is higher when you have a weapon. Like if you're just fighting somebody and they're calling you names or whatever, you want to call self-defense. You say, well, he was so aggressive that I thought he might punch me. Okay, that's fine. But then if you have a weapon, they say it's less than that because now I have a gun and I think he might get my gun. So I'm allowed to defend myself at the first sign of danger because I think he might get my gun. That's a ridiculous defense. If that's the case, you don't need a gun. If you have a weapon, you have a higher burden of discretion when you have a weapon. But again, that's just my 2 cents.
Attorneys for the father and son say they acted in self-defense, but family believes Arbery was killed for jogging while black, and they think the McMichaels' law enforcement connections delayed justice.
I didn't know that.
I knew I would take him down.
Yeah, he's gonna have the interview.
Yeah. Y'all put him in cuffs, are you?
No. Why would you be in cuffs?
Why would you be in cuffs? Now, when I first saw this, I'm thinking to myself, okay, that might just be good police work. You know, you gotta make friendly, make nice with the guy in order for him to trust you, so that you could go ahead and question him right and get all his confessions out. Just make him comfortable, give him a cigarette, let him talk. But he gave them all the information that they needed, and they still hadn't gotten anywhere with this case until, if you remember, they still hadn't gotten anywhere with this case until it became public. These guys would still be on the streets today if this story never broke. If this story wasn't public, these guys would still be on the streets today. But anyways, that's the story. So I don't know if you all remember the story when it first broke, but here's the question. Does the new evidence on the case change your mind about whether or not these 3 men were guilty? Why or why not? Let's talk about it.